Right. What is up, guys? Bruin Steel here, and I am back with another broadcast video with my friend Gene. What is up?
What is up, everybody?
So,
Hope y'all doing well.
I hope you're doing well. It's been a while. So, basically, what we're gonna do today is talk about this topic. So, this is gonna be uploaded to my gaming channel because it's kind of related to gaming. But I want to. So, the full story of why I wanted to do this broadcast is because I was on Discord. I believe it was like 3 days ago. I was in this random Discord server. I left the server because it kind of got like annoying that I couldn't talk. Like I joined a voice chat and I couldn't talk because there was like 30 people in like one call. It was absolute ridiculous. But basically they were talking about like should people in the gaming community date online? So basically let's say that I'm a guy, you're a girl, right? Let's say that we met on like what are some games you're familiar with?
I know of
So
World of Warcraft.
let's just say Rocket League. You know Rocket League?
I've never heard of Rocket League.
Um, League of Legends. I talked to you about League of Legends, right?
Yes, you
Yeah.
can. I
So
know League of
let's say
Legends
that you're.
because
Let's
you
just say
play it.
pretend that I'm a guy and you're a girl, right? And we are playing League of Legends and we start talking. Like one of us adds each other. Like one, it will be either me or you who add each other. Like I would either add you or you would add me, and then we just start talking, and then we just like don't know what we look like, and then we just start a dating relationship. So today we're just gonna talk about like is dating online okay? Like it doesn't have to be gaming. It can be like in general, like should two people date even though they don't know what the person looks like? Even though that the person they know they want to date, they don't know anything about them, like what they like to do, hobbies. um, I'm gonna just share my thoughts. So I only had two. I don't know if you know this, but I only had one experience dating online. So basically, I think I was like 14 years old. I was playing this game called Club Penguin. It's basically a game where you play as a penguin and you do tasks and stuff. It was kind of fun, and you meet new people. And I met this girl that was like surprisingly 2 miles from me, and we started talking on Club Penguin. It's like an open world game like World of Warcraft and RuneScape. So basically, you just go around as penguins and do like stuff, and you meet people. So basically, I met my first girlfriend doing that, and I didn't know what she looked like. She didn't know what I looked like, and it went pretty well. So but anyways, I think the risk though, I think there's positive and negative stuff about it. So like I think the positive is that like, oh, this person is like you met them online, you can know more about them, you can like maybe voice chat them or something, but the risk I think is like what if what's this person is a spam, like is a troll or like a pedophile or something or like a person with a fake name or something. You don't know. So that's why Tinder is considered dangerous. That's why a lot of dating sites are like considered dangerous. Like Tinder is dangerous. Meeting someone online is actually dangerous. You don't know if they like is a criminal that's looking for someone to like kill or someone like that or steal money from or spam. Um, recently there was um recently there was a YouTuber by the name of EDP, and he actually got caught for texting a underage girl. He actually tried to meet with the girl, and the girl was underage, and he got caught by like a group. I don't remember the name of the group, but it was a group that hunts down pedophiles, and then once they're caught, they just deal with them personally for YouTube content. So I don't know if you heard about that.
I have not heard about that. However, I know that um, there are people out there. You know, the internet can be a dangerous place. There can be a lot of crazy things that people see and people do on the internet, and so we do have to be careful when we're talking to people on the internet because we don't know what we're encountering.
Yeah, like I don't know if I told you this, but I also when I was in like I think it was high school or middle school, I went on this website called Omega, and basically it's a worldwide web where like you can meet people, but they're like it's like a dirty site too. Like you'll see people doing weird ass shit. And like I was on there, and then a girl said that they want a girl without a webcam said that she wanted to date me, and then I knew that was probably a spam or was probably a guy pretending to be a girl. There's a lot of that too, so
Yes, that's true. You do have a lot of that going on, and don't really know who's who. You don't really know if that person is if it's a guy, and you don't know if the person is a woman. If it's a girl, you don't know if that person is a man. And people have to be careful and watch out for sexual predators and people who are looking to do, uh, you know, just those bad things. But at the same time, I think there are people out there who are genuinely looking for someone they want to date and hang out with. Um, that's from my personal experience. I've never done internet online dating before.
of course
I've not
because
done
you're
more in
married.
person dating. Yeah, I'm married. I know. But before this, I never really did in on online dating. I never met up with someone I don't know. That's just something that is different. That's online dating. It can be uh, in the dating world. It can make you seem like you're desperate. You're a desperate person. So um, that's I think that's one of the social stigma that's attached with online dating.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think in some way, like I had so many. We'll see the comments by like I went around and did sort of a survey, and I sort of like asked people around of their opinions. I even asked some people that on WeChat actually their opinion on this, and to my surprise, they actually had some opinions. So I didn't realize maybe like they actually. I mean, you all know that YouTube is actually banned in China, so I was surprised when I asked some of the people on WeChat. Like these are WeChat people that I met in China when I was in China for a year. So they had their own opinion on this actually. So so basically you'll see like in a lot of the comments people have different opinions saying that like online dating can be good because they know people that met online and they got married and then the relationship went well. So like I think online dating isn't a good in a good way, but like like that's just kind of like the risk. Like, oh, if you want to date, I gotta see what you look like. I gotta know who you are, like what you like to do. If you're a real person or not. If you can do that, I guess like online dating is good. Um, so I think that's like a security reason that people can be cautious about if they start like doing online dating for the first time or like first time experience doing that. So
Yes, I agree, Jeff. I think that online dating can be beneficial for people, for those who don't know much about dating, and so they may try online dating if they're not comfortable with dating in person, because dating in person can be a different experience from dating online. It's that dating online can be more like informal, or it's not as personal as it is dating as it is dating on a person in person. So you're just calling and texting the phone, and when I think of that, I think of international dating. So people who date across countries, it can be hard to stay in touch with somebody from across the world, and uh, it can be tough. Um, but it works for some people because they feel comfortable with that person. So they may not have met that person. They if they talk every day and they get along with that person, and they share the same views, and they go and meet each other. It works out for people in some areas, but not for everybody.
yeah. And another thing I wanted to add is like this I haven't played League in so long because I've been busy with the finals and shit, but like I noticed like a lot of like, so if I say that I have met girls on League of Legends that are on my friends list, and they all have like they all say like I try to like ask them like about like, let's say like I would like ask them about their personal life and they would just think that they're getting hit on. So like that's another reason why like many people who don't like online hate, especially girls, is why like people hate online dating, because one person can like hit on another person too much and it's really annoying. So like I was once like asked this girl about like um what was it? I don't know. Like I asked this girl about something and she thought I was hitting on her, and then she felt really annoyed, and I'm like, no, I'm not hitting on you. I just wanted to like ask you about like, oh, the stuff that you do on League and stuff like that. But like that's why I'm just saying that's why like people are scared to like play games. And then like Call of Duty. Like I heard like a lot of people date over Call of Duty. And I had a comment saying that someone met on like, there was like a couple that were like 12 years old, 11 years old, saying that they were dating.
That's not a couple. That's a puppy love.
Yeah, and
That's
yeah, and this is my experience. So I met someone because I think I was playing Pokemon Go one time. I went to over to Brian's house, and I actually was playing Pokemon Go with him. And we met. There was this person that was playing in the like the actual like area, and then he was telling us a story about like I think he was, no, it was just me, not Brian, but like it was just me. A guy told me that he met two people who were dating, like they met over Pokemon Go, and I'm like, how does that work? Because you have to walk around. So they basically bumped into each other playing Pokemon Go, and they just fell in love and then dated.
interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah,
I think that now Pokemon Go is an interesting game because it's a game that you're not sitting down in your
but at
house,
least it's not
it's
like.
staring in front of a
But
TV.
I think I can like. Sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to mention that I think I can accept people meeting over Pokemon Go because you're actually outside and meeting people.
Yes, yes. Pokemon Go forces you to go outside and meet people, and you have to interact with them and share whatever, and you talk and whatever, and get to know each other. That forces Pokemon Go allows you to interact with people who share the same interests, and that's how so relationships are gonna form, and people are gonna be able to get to know each other better, as opposed to like playing League of Legends and sitting in front of a computer, playing it all day and stuff. You're not really gonna have that same kind of impact. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have anything else to add. Do you have anything else to add before I bring up the comments? So these comments were basically people that I asked, like they're friends with me. So these comments consist of people on Discord, text message, Facebook Messenger. I went all over the place. So just my final thoughts before I bring those comments so we can take a look and react to them is that there are some ways positively and negatively that online dating can work, but it's just like people have to be careful. But before I like bring up
Yeah,
the comments so we can react, do you have any things to add, like final thoughts?
yeah. I was thinking about the way people communicate on when they're actually online dating. Um, you when you're communicating via text message, you can't send like a whole like story, like a whole story, like 5 pages of text. Because there are people out there who will send like a paragraph after paragraph trying to explain everything about what if something crazy happened to them. They're just trying to explain something. They're just going to send like a whole paragraph, a text of, and then people are not going to sit down and read a whole paragraph in text when they're doing the online dating.
Yeah.
They just send short messages. So, no one's going to sit down and read a life story like they're reading a book. No one wants to do that. The whole purpose of text messaging when you're communicating is to send short messages. You can use it to make jokes. You can use it to check on somebody. You can use it to communicate like short, compact messages. So if you want to communicate, then you can say you can decide, hey, I'm gonna meet up. I want to meet up with you at this place. You can say, I'm gonna meet up with you
Just like
this
a freaking
place.
just like people who want to meet up for sex. That's basically the same thing.
You're not gonna say if somebody gonna meet up for sex. I was gonna say like, oh, X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna send this whole paragraph to that person. That person's not gonna read that. They're gonna turn it off. They're gonna be like, what the heck is this? Read. It's like, or they're not even gonna read it. So,
Yeah. All right. So
it's better if you're gonna communicate. It's better to. I just want to finish. Communicate to do a FaceTime call. Let the person see your face. Communicate with the FaceTime call because that will be better rather than sending a text message.
all right.
So that's my point. That's all.
All right, so we're gonna look at some comments now. Like this is a lot of comments I'm gonna show. So just a warning, guys. All the names that I asked, so like the username and stuff, are all I blocked out. So like you can't add them. So it's like there's a security thing going on. So like I scratched all the people's names and the usernames. So you guys have to understand the security reasons. So like a lot of people actually. So when I ask people for their comments, they ask me like, is my name gonna be visible or stuff like that? And I told them that I'll be scratching their names out. So like I wouldn't even I scratched all their names and I don't even remember who said who. So we're just gonna look at the comments now. So. All right,
It should be anonymous.
if you can view my screen.
Let me take a look at.
You see it?
Yes, I can see the screen.
This is how many screenshots I took. Look at that.
It's loading. It's loading. It's loading. I'm trying to. There we go.
And this is all the comments I have.
Okay, I thought you were actually going to show the comments.
Yeah, I am. So the first one, are you ready? So.
Ready.
Oh, wait. Wait. I thought I'm showing the. Oh, this is going to be annoying. Give me a second, guys. Oh my god, this is going to be annoying.
Yep.
Because the thing is, let me stop sharing because the problem is that I can't open it up. The screen won't open up. I have to like do this and then open up. That's going to be so annoying. Alright, I'll just do this then. And then. Right. You see that?
I'm waiting for you. Oh, it's still showing again.
Do you see the comment?
1 second. Waiting for the comments to show up.
Well, this is gonna be annoying.
Give it a few seconds.
Oh, this is gonna be annoying. You know what I should have done? I just should have put all the text in PowerPoint and then the stream would just see all the PowerPoint shit. If it's not working, then I can just read them out loud or something. Still loading?
Yeah, read it out loud, actually.
You know what? I'm just gonna exit out and then. Oh boy. Oh, this is horrible.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, let me try.
It's not. That's what's asking me.
How about now?
Load.
Got some technical issues with pictures. Oh my god.
All right, it works.
Alright. So you see this?
Yes.
Alright, here we go. So this is the first comment. So this guy says, someone once DM'd me asking if I was bi or bisexual. I think that's what he meant. And I said no. And then
Yes.
someone asked you out, would you be bi? I think he meant bisexual. I don't know. I said no, and then they fucking asked me.
That's what he meant.
I'm not,
That's what
I said
he
no
meant.
because I'm not comfortable dating someone that I've pretty much talked to, let alone a guy. And he said he was gonna kill himself. Like, you don't need to fucking date someone because you played with them 1 or 2 times. I totally. And then he said, if you want to go right ahead, but it's not a requirement. Yeah, I totally agree with him. I mean, like I've seen people kill themselves just because some dude online doesn't date them or something. And
Whoa, that's insane.
that's probably why people ask people if they're bisexual or something, because it's saying that if you like guys or girls.
That's crazy.
That is a good possibility. So that is a good comment. So I thank you for that. So I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be so annoying just going around and just keep sharing my screen.
So why don't you just read it then?
Yeah, I'm probably
What the?
all right. You see this now?
All right, I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah. I'm probably just gonna read it. This is annoying. You know what? I'm just gonna read it. Okay. So the next one. All right. So the next one. Let me see this one. So the next one, this person said, "Oh, okay. It's not necessary to go online to play games. I think it should only be necessary for download purposes and multiplayer. I play a mix of online and offline games, so needing to be online to play any video game really depends on what I'm playing." Hmm.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's not necessary to play online, but for download purposes, I mean, I think what he's trying to say, or she, I don't know, I don't remember if it was a he or she, but I think they're just trying to say like you shouldn't go online just to date. You just go on and download and play. I don't know, like for multiplayer reasons. And then he said you played a mix of online and offline games.
Well, Jeff, I think that people only go. People want to play games. You know, they don't want to. They don't want to go online just to have relationships. You know, I mean, the relationships come afterwards. Most people just want to go online just to relax and play games and just to have a good time. They don't want to have. They don't want to deal with drama and stuff. You know, when they're in the relation, if they have a relationship with someone, online. That's. I mean, that's the way it was back in the day. You didn't go online to date somebody. No one does that. It sounds ridiculous. It is ridiculous. But I guess some people, it may have changed a lot nowadays. I mean, I don't know. I mean, people might think differently. If someone else thinks differently, they can put that down in the comment section. So,
Yeah. All right.
what else do you got?
All right. So I was gonna try something. I'm actually gonna put. Let me see if this works. I'm actually gonna put. So I'm actually gonna put this here to block us talking, and then just go through the comments one by one. So, and then they'll be able to see the comment. So I think I'll just do this and then do that. That will work. So basically, the next one is this guy says, "Hmm." So this is, I think this is Facebook Messenger. I can't really tell, but this guy says, "Hmm." I think it's only okay if you get to know the person. Well, like he's completely correct. Like if you meet on Zoom or something and click well, transparency is key and have to communicate well. There can be some brick walls such as distance, but everyone has their own unique circuit. So this is what we were talking about. Yes, there's a security reason that they started online dating relationship that you can ask them like get to know them and stuff like that. That's exactly what this comment said.
Yeah, that's exactly what we've been talking about.
All right, so thank you for that comment, man. All right, next one. Next one is says dating someone online. Nah, I wouldn't trust that. That's pretty much it. Some people had like short responses. Some people had more responses. So this guy, all he said was dating someone online. He said, "Nah, I wouldn't trust that." Yeah, I can understand why.
Yeah,
It
it's
could
just
be like
like
a fake person online or something like that.
yeah, you don't know what you're getting yourself into, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, so yeah, this. All right, the next one is I don't know, man. It's hard for me to trust dating people online, but if you're smart, just be careful of fake accounts. This is also a good reason because there's a lot of trolls out there, like trolls on your YouTube channel. Like I know that you had trolls on your YouTube channel. I know that I had trolls on mine, but this is a dating situation. So like I know there's like probably spam accounts that follow you and say that, hey baby, do you want to meet up for sex or something on YouTube? It could be Instagram. It can be a fake girl's profile picture on Facebook. So this is a really good comment too.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. All right. So this guy says, "What do you mean by necessary?" For some odd reason, people are confused why I used the word necessary when I was explaining what I wanted them to do. So let's say, "What do you mean by necessary?" I personally recommend meeting people in person. So this guy agrees that people should meet in person. I recommend not dating people online, especially if you're in pursuit of a relationship in person. Yeah. So I think this guy like made a typo. He said, "I personally recommend meeting people in person." I think there's a typo. I don't know. Oh wait, never mind. There's no typo. I was reading that wrong. So this guy, yeah, he said recommend not dating people online, where it's easy to like meet someone in person.
I agree. I totally agree that that is some solid advice that that person has stated. Definitely, meeting in person is the best way to start dating. Most people, you know, most all of us are uncomfortable with in person dating, but that's the best way to go.
Yeah, yeah. All right, all right. So this is another comment. So a pro tip, don't date anyone that lives in the South. They'll literally cheat on you with their stepbrother. True story. It happened to me. Online short distance relationship don't work these days. So I don't know, like I never had like a cheating situation. So I mean like this guy said that I think this guy's saying that he's from the South. I don't know, but like he said that he had it happened to me that like literally cheat on someone's stepbrother or something. I don't know. But I do agree that, like you said, like online for distinct relationship don't work these days. I mean, like I can totally agree.
So basically, this person had a dating had someone cheat on them because they were on dating online.
Yeah,
Interesting. That does happen. It's much more easier for the partner to cheat because the other person doesn't know what their spouse is doing. So if someone wants to cheat, it's easier. It makes it easier for the spouse to cheat than it is like cheating in person, because if you're cheating in person you can be caught in the act of it, but if it's like online, it's a little bit harder because it's more subtle, you know. It's it's harder to catch. But at the same time, so a person can cheat through emotional emotionally on their spouse if they don't talk to them anymore, if they don't care about them, they don't share affection and stuff like that. So that's another aspect that people in relationships have to be aware of.
All right. So the next one, this one's a girl because I remember she was a friend of mine on Facebook. So she said, dating online as a teenager is bullshit. The men and women you find are just out of that fix and probably have someone IRL and are simply using you. Sometimes you find a golden apple in the pile of grapes, but as a teenager, fuck no. And there's a second, she wrote a lot. So this is the second part. She said, but as a fully grown woman, I found out that if you give it time and you don't rush it, you can find that one person you find that one person, excuse me, find that one person you want to share your life with or a very special friend, regardless of age and sex or location. Um, so yeah, I totally like agree with her saying that like teenagers is a really bad time to like date online because there could be like sexual predators and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I like her response. I think her response was well put together, and it definitely makes sense. Teenagers don't really need online dating. It's not really going to work out for them at that age, because when you and I were teenagers, we didn't really that was never a thing. That wasn't real. They have to be careful. You have to watch out for sexual predators. It's much more easier to do in person dating for teenagers than it is for teenagers to do online dating, because that's not going to work out for them. And that other comment about the just taking your time with it, letting the other person get to know you get to know that person, um, you grow together. Yeah, I think that's important, because relationships take time. So
All right, so the next one is this guy says I have mixed feelings about that since I know my brother had been in that situation and it backfired. However, I know that there are some people who are able to bond from meeting in online games. My answer would be to not rush to inclusion if whether or not she would be the one. So yeah, I totally agree. Like people who bond online. I mean, like this guy says, say, so able to bond. Like they people. There's a lot of Twitch streamers that like to bond with their subscribers. You know, people in general like to play games with each other, and then it kind of maybe that playing with people turns into love. But I totally agree what he said about like do not rush in conclusion if you're not 100% sure if that like one person that you've been playing games with could be the one for you. Yeah.
yeah, it's just like what the girl was saying. Not me, but what the girl was saying about taking your time especially when you're online. People who are online, they just rush on everything. They're just rushing to if you're playing in a guild, you're both playing in the same guild. You both play with the same people. You do your raids, you do whatever. Um, you do you do everything. You spend hours and hours in a guild together and every day, like for a year, 2 years, however long it is. And people get to know each other in the guild really well. They understand each other's strengths and weaknesses, and I think that relationships can really form in that gaming community, in that clan, for people who are play together and stuff. So, I mean, I haven't honestly spent years playing like League of Legends or World of Warcraft and other kinds of stuff like that. I'm not that kind of serious type of gamer.
Yeah, yeah. All right, next one. Yeah, that will go to. So this person said, yeah, that will go to shit 100%. So yeah, I agree with this guy already. Online dating apps already suck. Meeting on a game is 10 times shittier, so it combines to 100 times shittier chances than meeting people in real life. So yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, people in real life you have a more chance to getting to know them and having a fun relationship. Like, yeah, he said like dating sites are already suck, which I totally agree. Like, I have Tinder and it's garbage. So,
That's true. But Jeff, let me ask you this. You know people who you have a guild that you play with every like week or so, right? When you're playing League of
um,
Legends.
sometimes it's random, sometimes it's guys that I come across with, but overall, sometimes yeah, sometimes it's a girl. Yeah, why do you not want to know?
Yeah, okay, but you don't have like people who you play with like every week.
No, no.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Just curious, because I know you play it like every week or so.
all right. So the next one. All right, so blah blah blah. That was just her saying that she wanted my Discord so she can talk about it. She said, I personally have some strong opinions about this. I've seen so many online relationships fall apart because of just what you're talking about. It would be nice to put into words.
Hmm. Um. I think for the it seems to me like for the women are more they want more in person. They prefer in person dating as opposed to online dating.
Yeah. But the funny
Yeah,
thing is that I actually met some people online that are girls and they said that they met their boyfriend through gaming.
really, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I know, like, I understand why girls are so nervous because they don't want to make sure this guy playing video games isn't like a serial killer when they meet or something like that. So,
Yeah, yeah.
all right. So this next person said, "Well, then that's not dating. You're just really cool with someone you play games with. Dating is getting to know someone with a personal level, sure that you can play with them, get to know them, etc. It's different than meeting
I
another
like that.
person in person and taking them out, courting them. So a guy I work with met his wife playing games online. They played for a while before they met. They shared pictures of each other and exchanged phone numbers and all that, but it took them like almost a year to break up."
Wow.
Like,
That's interesting. That's interesting. That she shared that story about how the husband and wife met, and yeah, definitely, yeah. Online dating it's not going to work out, because you don't know the person, they don't know you. The only way you can meet is by meeting in person and talking together and stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, do you have any
Yes,
more
I have a lot.
comments?
Let me go to this one. Wait a second. Am I? All right. So this guy says, I would think they'll start with a friendly relationship first before they get that serious. And he said, but after they get to know each other and they have a connection, I think online dating is fine. But like, it's unlikely two random strangers will go straight to a serious relationship. So basically, I agree with one part. I think that I think that one person should just like have a test run relationship with someone like in real life before getting into something that's serious, like he said. And then they say that two unlikely strangers will go into straight into serious. So like they think they may be like they're just like playing games, pretending to be a couple or something. So what your take?
Yeah, I agree. His points make a lot of his points line up with what the others had said before. That yeah, relationships, you need to build that relationship, build a friendship, and then transition. If both parties want to transition into the relationship, okay, they can
So
choose to or not.
all right, and this one was Brian's comment. They were at Brian. Wow. So Brian said, "I mean, whatever makes those two people happy." He's like, "Whether you can call it dating or not, it's just sentimentals. Whoever floats their boats. You feel?"
That's a good comment from Brian. I agree with that. it makes both people acceptable, accept both they accept each other for who they are. That's an important point. Definitely a good point.
All right. So next one. The next one is, I mean, that actually happened to me. I don't see the problem, but eventually it's appropriate to FaceTime or video chat. So this guy is saying, or a girl, I don't remember if these comments, I don't know if they're a guy or a girl, so I'm just saying that I'm just gonna say they. So this person, I'm just saying this person said that, like, it happened to them, and they don't see the problem, and then eventually it's appropriate to FaceTime and video chat. I mean, like, I agree with them. Obviously, maybe this person, like, chatted with the person, like, getting to know them and stuff like that. That's probably why he doesn't have a problem.
Yeah, I agree, man. I definitely think that um, that person definitely, yeah, says the same thing as the others. That yeah, definitely talking in person and talking on a video chat may or may not work. It depends on if the person who they're talking to likes to do the video chat or not. So I mean, it depends.
All right, so this was someone on WeChat. So this was a person in China. So he said, not necessary, but if you chat a lot with him or her, develop good relationship, and make sure it is safe. It is okay to date. So this was a person from
Yeah.
China.
Um, so that person from China said that it's okay if they talk a
He
lot.
said, not
And
necessary, but if you chat a lot with him or her, develop good relationship, and make sure it is safe. It is okay to date.
now, what in what context would he did he would do, does he say that? In what context?
What do you mean?
I'm just trying to understand what that person means. If
I
they,
think
they
he's
talk a
saying
lot,
I think he's saying that when you like if that person you chat with a lot and you develop like a good relationship, maybe hobbies, similar hobbies, make sure it's safe, like maybe like what we've been talking about, like making sure they're not like sexual predators or trolls or anything, or anyone with a fake account. He's saying that it's okay to date.
I mean, if it works for him, if it works for that person, then sure. But that's the majority. Some it might work for some people, but not all. Are there any more comments you had from any friends and any people from uh, who responded to your comment from China?
There's all scattered, so yeah, there's more. These are like all scattered comments. So the next one is, I think video game dating is fine due to people being loners or into video games more than others, and will find only that one person through their favorite game and two will be able to connect. So this is kind of like Omega and like online talking, like you'll be able to connect to one person and talk to them about like your personal life and stuff like that. So like I know like a lot of gaming stuff that I do, I try to talk to people but they ignore me. So like only a certain amount of percent of people like reply to you. That's what I think this guy is talking about.
Yeah, I agree that yeah, I do think that people who play games together, even though they share similar interests, and so that leads to people being able to bond, and I think that gamers do share some areas of their own personal life that they're going through, and they connect with other people. Like the person who you mentioned that those people, there are people out there who prefer to be loners because they're more comfortable being by themselves, and they don't like they don't like um, being around a lot of people, so they prefer to be alone. Um, but there may be people out there who are bullied and they don't have a lot of friends. And so one way that they can communicate is if they find someone else who has the same hobby as them and they like to play games and they're able to connect with that person.
Yeah. It just imagine this. So me and you, we met at Hudson Valley and like I came out I think I don't remember exactly how, but I think we started talking in a cafe or something. So just
We did,
imagine
yes.
like in person people can ignore you and don't want to talk to you. That's just gonna be so horrible compared to online. Like let's say that like me and you could have not met each other. Like I could have went up to you and you said that get the fuck out of my face. I don't want to talk to you. Just imagine if that was the case if people met in real life. Like I mean, I'm sure people say that to each other still in real life. Like I have told some people to get the fuck out of my face before. So
Yeah, yeah, it's the same thing. If you're telling someone to get out of my face in person, that person can have a different reaction as opposed to it if you did it on if you did it on the internet.
yeah.
Because if you're doing it on the internet, the person's not going to be
Yeah,
very offended.
he's not gonna have your address. He's not gonna hunt you down and stab you with a knife or something or call the
Ex-
cops.
exactly. He's not going to be like Freddy Krueger and try to find you and do that to you.
All
It's
right,
going to be
next
like
one. All right,
the exact opposite.
the next one. Most of these are the same. So if I do see a comment that were the same that we just talked about, I'll probably skip them. So this one
Yes.
was online dating is definitely one of the positives that come from the internet. Yeah, obviously you need to put quite a bit of trust into the other person, which we talked about. But I see many online relationships bloom nicely. What I have to say about is I agree. Like I have heard stories from people saying that they know people that they know in real life that actually had successful online dating relationships. And this guy also said it really depends on the person, but distance will become the real issue, which I agree. Like people hate far hate long distance relationship. And he said, but if you have the motive, it's really easy to get used to having someone in the call with you every day. So yeah, I totally agree that if you can have a long distance relationship and then like call them like every day, it'll be fine. So I totally agree with what this guy says.
Yeah, I agree. I think that if you said that person said if it's a long distance relationship, that can be really hard to manage sometimes because you have to talk to that person every day, and if no one talks for 2, 3, 4 days, then it seems like forever to the other person, and it's not easy doing international relationships because that's tough. Um, yeah. So
Next one. This guy says, I probably have to talk. I have to probably to talk. So this guy just said that he's not a Discord person. And he said, for the thoughts on the topic, he said, I don't think it makes much difference if someone finds someone else in an online game. I think it would go the same as any relationship, so it depends on the people. The only problem is the part where they start dating right away as they meet, like literally right away. Don't take my word as really good advice, so I are to probably never interact in those topics in my life, sad to say. So this guy was obviously single. But yeah, I agree with what this guy said. People just like want to date right away because they like a guy is filthy for this girl to be really hot and sexy, and then it's like, hey, do you want to date all the way because I find you hot and sexy, and that's the issue. I mean, like a girl wants to date right away because same thing, like but opposite. A girl finds a guy really handsome, and she wants to like ask her, hey, are you single? We can date right away, starting tomorrow, and that's probably the reason why a lot of relationships gone bad.
yes, I agree because I think when I think of this, people think of online dating is speed dating. You know, they just want to think that. Have you ever done speed dating before?
Has I? I don't think so.
Well, basically, it's just like you meet for 5 minutes or 5 minutes. You talk about stuff for 5 minutes, and if you find an instant connection, you go from there and you go on a date, something like that. That's how it is in a sense. That's kind of like what it is with online dating in a sense. You're playing League of Legends. You meet a girl. She's playing League of Legends, and so you talk about something, then you find out that from League of Legends you like watching Godzilla versus Kong, and then you decide you're gonna go out somewhere. You're gonna go to the theater. You're gonna meet and up there you're gonna watch the movie together. That's kind of what it's like. Just like immediate, instantaneous. Like we're gonna go on a date right now, immediately at this time on this day. You know, that's what people expect from it. It's just like instantaneous. Um, this needs to happen right now. type of thing. So uh, that's 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 just my take on it. But someone else may have a different take on it.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, speaking of movies, I'm gonna show the new Mortal. I'm gonna show Mortal Kombat next week if you're interested. By the way, Friday.
Oh, pretty cool, pretty cool.
Yeah, if you're interested, Mortal Kombat Friday night next week. So the next one. All right. So this. I'm guessing it's a girl. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the gender, but this person said, "I've seen at least 4 online relationships fall apart due to the lack of common interest." So yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. That people date and they don't know what their hobbies are. They don't know what they look like, and making conversations in real life is pretty simple, which I agree, because you can talk about where you are and build off these for other topics. In my opinion, you can probably do that. Like, you can probably do that after you actually made sure that the person you're dating is like not a troll or something. Like I said, talked about earlier. You can talk about yourself. You can talk about where you live. And so basically, she said life is pretty simple because you can talk about where you are. And well, I just said that, but that if you're just texting some random channel you've never seen, what do you say? I mean, I text strangers usually sometimes on League, and then you're just talking about the games. But like in real life, I think it'll be hard. Um, but there's actually online sites that you can go and talk with strangers and talk about like personal life. Like there's people that can talk to each other about personal life, like issues, like similar issues that they have. And some cheesy icebreaker, the weather, it just doesn't work, and you have no idea what you're talking about. But I do believe that like maybe so what I agree about this is that I do believe that like texting random person can work in some way, but like maybe it won't work in some way. But I think it does work. And earlier I said that we were just talking about lack of common interest, which is like the person doesn't know much about the person. So
Yeah, I agree. The texting can be awkward, for some people if they don't know how to communicate via texting. So if somebody's texting someone else and they're already talking about icebreaking, they can't seem to come up with icebreaking questions. Um, it's not going to really work out for them because of the way the other person might be responding, if they're sending one-worded messages or they're not responding at all. Um, it can be hard. It can be hard.
all right, yeah, all right. So this person says, theoretically, yes, you can create a relationship that we would consider to be a step above friendship online without meeting in person or seeing the person. However, because of the limitation of digital communication, I would say it's difficult to sustain a relationship like that, especially with the amount of distance that goes in the digital world. So this is interesting because this person's comparing the like texting, phoning, and the relationships. Like, so I'm not sure if this is what he meant, but like he's saying that maybe like because of like communication problems that phones have, like one person probably can only communicate on Discord or something and they don't have a phone or something, it's gonna be hard to maintain a relationship. That's what I think this guy meant. I have no idea.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he does mention digital ward, which is like phones, computers. So he's saying maybe that's what I'm guessing. Why he's saying like it's hard to, obtain a relationship where that one person you're trying to date doesn't have much communication devices. So I think that's what he meant. Like because he mentioned digital like multiple times in his post. So
Yeah, because a relationship requires two people in order for it to function properly. The other person, there has to be constant communication going between two people at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but there has to be healthy communication going on between two people at the same time. One person listens to what the other person is saying and responding to what the other person is saying. And if there's distractions that are going on that is not allowing the other person to listen to what the other person is saying, then they're going to get distracted or they're going to get frustrated um, and not be able to understand what the other person is saying. So it can be hard, especially with texting and Um, the well, not only texting but communicating over the phone or doing a voice of a face call or something like that. That can be tough. You know.
Yeah. All right. So this person said, to me, dating online or having a long-term relationship is something I won't qualify as a relationship. Dating online for gaming, online forums, and other links use online activities can be good as long as within 2 or 3 months you're seeing the other person at least 4 times a month, then the relationship won't be viable. There needs to be a moderate migration in each other's lives. Best way to date for gaming is just make sure the person is within comfortable distance to drive. So yeah, I totally agree. Like I said, I met this girl on Club Penguin, and then she happened to be like 2 miles from me actually, and I had success because I was able to like commute with see her, and then commute. I couldn't drive, but like I was able to talk to her and obtain a relationship, then meet her in person. So this person's comment, I agree. You need to at least like obtain an amount of like months for that relationship, and then like have comfortable driving distance. So like I know people who like date and then they're all over the place. So
Yeah, I agree. The people. Yeah, it's like what we've been talking about. That it's better to meet if there's going to be online dating, then you can't just be always on a phone or a computer all day communicating. You have to meet up in person because that's needed in order for the relationship to take that next step and for people to move forward in a relationship.
yeah. All right. Next one is a little bit short. It says, I mean, sure, there are weirder ways to get into a relationship. I guess this guy doesn't really have much to say. He just said, I mean, sure, there are weirder ways to get in a relationship, which I totally agree. I mean, like both in real life and online, there are different ways. Ways to get into a relationship. Like there, both ways, online and in real life, there are weird ways. So yeah, I totally agree with this dude.
Yeah, I think that there are real ways. There are. I think there's only one way to get in a relationship. After you've done the online dating thing, you have to move on and move and actually meet that person in person because there's nothing like the in person experience and meeting somebody in person and talking to that person in person and getting to know them because you might learn something different after you meet that person in person as opposed to how you met them over the internet, you know?
Yeah. All right. The next one is, I believe that it would be unrealistic. I say that due to the fact you met her online. So this guy was the guy, obviously. You met her online. It would be really easy to play games with him or her over the internet. But what happens when they live in another country? Do you buy a plane ticket to visit them every time? It would be really hard to maintain a long distance relationship. Yeah, this is what we've been talking about. That's why I was saying like relationships can happen all over the place. Like I can be here and then I can be talking with some girl in Russia, like a really cute girl in Russia, and starting a relationship with her, right? So, I mean, so he's saying that it's easy to meet online playing games, but he said you have to play plane tickets. So like that's probably why relationships didn't go well. Maybe those relationships are long term like that.
I think that it works for some people because I know I had a roommate in college. He and his girlfriend were dating, and they were dating before he went off to become a missionary. And he was as he was gone for a year in missionary doing missionary work, and his girlfriend they were both talking, and they were talking and communicating every day. And as he was away, um, he told me that he told me little things here and there that people were telling them, oh, the relationship is not going to work out because he's away in another country and she's here in the U.S. And after a year, he came back. He came back to the U.S. And he finished up his term there. And as while I was in college, they were still dating. She graduated. They both graduated. They both got married. They're both happily married right now. And it worked out for both of them. And now they live in on the West Coast. They live together, happily married. So it works out. They really had to work on the relationship, and it works out.
All right, next person. I don't know what this person said. He said, "Well, if you start dating someone, you play with a plus." I don't know what he meant there. It just shows you got some infinity with the person.
I'm a little confused by that point too. What, can you repeat that?
He said, "Well, if you start dating someone, you play with it a plus." I don't know. I don't know what he meant there. And the next part said, "It just shows you got some infinity with." I don't know what that is, but with the person.
Um, I'm not sure what I know what that means or what
I'll
that
just skip
person
it. I'll
means.
just skip it. This person said not interested, sorry, but he still wrote something. He said it's a terrible idea. Dating for leave with someone you met is for the sad, lonely, and stupid. Just
Yeah, I agree. I can understand how why that person would feel he doesn't feel why that person doesn't feel comfortable with doing online dating. It doesn't fit them. So
right. This guy basically said the same thing. Yeah, I just don't really have much to add. My dating and relationship experience is kind of lacking, and let alone online relationships. So like this guy doesn't really date, so I can understand that.
yeah, I can understand that also if they're not interested.
All right. Some of these we're gonna go quick. This one we just already talked about. I mean, if they want to go for it, just be careful and don't fall for scam like trips. We're talking about like trolls and people making fake accounts like that.
Yeah, that's true. That happens.
We were
People
just
can
talking about that,
scam
like
you.
how Tinder can be a possibility, how like YouTube can be a possibility and stuff like that. So
Yes, YouTube, all the social media sites can be a big possibility for people to get scammed because there are stories out there of people who got into relationships with other people, and they found they met that person. They spent time talking to them, and then they met up with that person, and then after some time, that person ended up stealing, just ripping them off and stealing their money from them, and they lost everything. And those are the worst types of people out there that you do want to run
yeah.
into that
Right.
mess you up.
Right. So this person, hello, that sounds different, but to force someone to date is not really great. What if they can't
Yeah.
stand each other? What if in different states? So yeah, that's also something that we kind of talk about.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, nobody should be shamed or, um, people can't be forced to date other people because everybody else is doing it. I think people have the choice. People have the right and the choice. It's their choice to do it. Um, we can't force somebody because everybody else in society is doing it. And it's our right in this country. We get to choose who we want to date in this country, and that's the way it goes. If somebody decides, some people will decide to date when they're ready to.
Yeah, like in high school, I was unpopular, and I always called myself ugly because I felt maybe didn't some people didn't like me. So I mean, same thing. Like you don't want to date, I'm ugly.
Yeah, I mean, there are people out there who just might not be comfortable with who they are, just might make other people feel that way. But I think that's a sad way of thinking, though. You know, it makes someone else's life miserable because you feel miserable. That's just bad. That's just a bad habit.
All right, so this is all right. Well, what I think, in my opinion, I mean, if they got to know each other better, maybe they can meet up. Yeah, we already talked about that in real life. Yeah,
Yeah.
know each other. We already talked about that. This is a guy. Finally, this is the next. This guy was from China. Um, these are like people that I communicated when I was in China for a year. So this guy from China said dating strangers can be a good idea because randomly sometimes give your audience a surprise. um, of course, if you want to get a good life, you need some improvisation humor. Many YouTubers are willing to do that because they know they're able to take advantage of emergency in that game.
Yeah. Um, yeah, relationships are needed. Relationships are important. Um, I think about like, what about what the person's families? What do both persons' families think about the other person who they're dating, or if they haven't met them in person? You know, first impressions are always important. Um, when the other person's meeting the other person's family, parents, and their siblings. I think people often forget, or maybe they pay attention to how their spouse treats their family members and treats if they treat them well, if their parents don't like them. You know, there's a whole bunch of aspects that people forget. They just they kind of get to know. They take time with letting their family get to know them. You know what I'm saying, Jeff?
Yeah. All right. Next one. This person said dating isn't necessary in any regard, but it games or otherwise you can happily be single.
Yeah, repeat that again.
This person said that dating isn't necessary in any regard, but it games or otherwise. I think he meant like in games you can happily be single.
I think that's true. That's a good point because if you're just dating to be single, you just want to stay single and not get married. I mean, like I said earlier, people just want to play games. They don't want to get involved in relationships when they're playing games because they just want to have a good time.
Yeah. Or
Yeah, what do you think about that?
wait, sorry, repeat that.
Yeah, what do you think about that? I said that people want to when they're playing games, nobody wants to deal with any relationships when they're playing games. Like, um,
Yes, like on voice chat, like game. A lot of gaming has voice chat, and like people are probably a couple on there, and they start talking sweet to each other. And then there's like random people that have to listen to that shit. So yeah, I agree. People doesn't want to hear that shit.
yeah,
All right, next one. Well, my opinion is everyone meets somebody somewhere, and if they don't like each other after the one day, to stop. We already had a comment like this, and if they like the date, to keep going out. My aunt met her boyfriend of 1 year, almost two, after he rear-ended her car. They have some, they have something in common, and some they don't. So to me, everyone can meet somewhere, anywhere, whether or not they like each other. You don't know until you try going out.
interesting. Um, I think that you said that person met her boyfriend online.
No, met her boyfriend of 1 year, almost two, after like he crashed into the rear of her car.
Oh,
Yeah, and then they fell in love or something. I don't know why, but and then they just like dated.
wow, that sounds like something from straight from a Hollywood movie.
All right, no, this person just said no. Looks are important in getting to know someone too. So yeah, I think looks are important. So like we were just talking about how like people need to know what that person looks like in order to date them. Like this person could be ugly, like this person could be like attracted to you or something. So, and then getting to know someone too, where we talk about like before getting to a serious relationship, you have to like get to know them, their hobbies and stuff like that. So yeah. This person says, I don't see why not. Online dating has sure short over the past few years. I think it comes down to what each person wants from that relationship and how they want to go about it. Each person has their own ways of interacting in their ideal relationship. So yeah, that can be true. Like, um, people can be like, "Hey, do you want?" I don't know, remember when it was, but I met this guy saying that he has an online girlfriend and a real life girlfriend, so like he shares two girls. So basically, he said that he has like an online gaming girlfriend, like he flirts with online, and he has like a real life girlfriend in real life that he flirts with. I mean, that's like not healthy.
That I don't know what to think about that. I think that's a little tricky, especially for him, but
I mean,
yeah.
like that. I mentioned this because this person said each person has their own ways of interacting in their ideal relationship. I mean, like if you want to have a girl in real life and online, go ahead. Like no one's the boss of your life.
Oh man, that's I don't know about that. That's he's on dangerous ground because he said he has a real life girlfriend and he has an online girlfriend. Now, if that real life girlfriend finds out that he is a date that he has an
Oh
online
no,
girlfriend,
the
that's
the
it's over for
the
him.
screwed up thing about it is like they actually know. The two girls actually know.
What? They
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Wow, wow, that's crazy.
That's sad. So
That is sad. That is very sad. Yeah. Good luck to him.
now that explains why people hate online dating. But going to the next
Yeah.
comment, this person says, "I don't do long distance though. I fall out of love with my person, which is understandable. Like, people don't fall in love when they're not close. But it'll be interesting to see two gamers meet over in game comms and hit it off.
Yeah, two gamers meet. See, I mean, I can see how two gamers they meet, they fall in love, you know, but they gotta like, they gotta meet in person and do gaming together and stuff and do to share the same hobby. And I mean, I, I haven't really met anyone who has met somebody who has shares the exact same hobby as them, and they both do the same thing. I haven't met that person. You know,
All right. Next one is, well, personally, so this is a bit of a long one. So well, personally, I would say yeah, there are no rules to who is allowed to start relationships. I think that was poor wording. Should it be socially accepted? Yeah, because the only people who should care about that relationship are the two people in the relationship. You can find out lots about a person through just verbal communication. So yeah, I can understand that. Like dating is all about communication and how someone talks, and she's right about I think she's right about people that people caring about in that relationship, and then communication is important. And she also said the same way I feel like I know a lot of people about the people here, and y'all know a lot about me personal wise. So yeah, talking about people, getting to know them and stuff like that. And she's like, you can connect with someone and find mutual interest in and bond over experience just the same. So basically, she's saying that you can find people online that you don't know that has the same interest in you and start bonding and talking about it. And she said the cons, which is the negatives, probably people are visual stimulated that might deal breaker. So saying that really these relationship might not work out.
yeah. Um, I definitely agree. I think that yeah, you definitely need that verbal communication, so that so both people can understand each other, where they're coming from, and know what they want, and know what they both like, what they don't like, and that person that you have to have um, that communication there, so the relationship can grow. And that's important. um that's an important thing. uh you
All
there,
right.
Jeff?
Yeah, I'm here. So next one. Yes, if it's a common thing between them, then why not? It's not a different from online dating. The con is that two alike not good, especially those guys that want a girl that does everything he does. So that's so important in a relationship. Like there, a guy just can't just say to a girl saying that, oh, can we do this? Can we do that? You know, a girl wants to do something. So might as well just date another guy if you want her to play games and so forth. So, I mean, so what do you think of this?
Yeah, I think that that's true. A guy wants a guy would want a girl who does the same thing that he does, and the girl would want the same thing. Um, so people have to share the same common interests, and I mean it might be the same. It might be the same for most guys, but for it might be the same for some guys, but not all guys. Some guys might not like doing the same thing that their girl does, and the girl might not like doing the same thing that the guy does. So they might have different interests, but they might be able to connect because they share the same common interest and stuff. So, like I was saying about, I was just thinking about this. Like online dating, it's seen as a social stigma in you know, because of the negative attention it gets sometimes. You don't really hear too much about the positive aspects of it.
Yeah. All right. Next one it says, I mean, if you date someone online, this is another comment we've been talking about. Like these, most of these are similar. Like it said, so if you date someone online and don't know what they look like, then what the fuck are you doing? Like we said, why are you dating someone that you don't know what they look like or some hobbies? Like,
Yeah,
uh, wouldn't you just get her Snapchat or something? I don't know. I mean, that's true, but
that's another comment.
yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, exactly. That's what the said person said. Why would you date somebody who, if you don't never seen them before, and then you can get their Snapchat, you know, that's so they can see what they look like. You know, that's exactly what you need to do. You need to be able to know who you're dealing with.
All right. So next one is the first one's pretty much we already said this again. I think if you're someone who cares about the appearance of your partner, it's pretty risky. Like I said, this is again, um, meeting someone and you don't know what they look like. Also, if you're only understanding of the person in the video game content, I think it would be hard to have a relationship because that goes far beyond video games. But if people like each other, I don't see the harm giving it a chance.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. It because dating does go beyond video games. I like that comment, that point there. Um, dating is just more than just video game. It's dating is not a video game. Like you're dating someone in real life. You know, you're trying to figure out if is this person that the person that I want to be with for you know that I want to marry, or is this person you know someone that I just want to be with, and we're just gonna stay this way, or we're gonna we're gonna get to know each other, and then after that, they just want to pound, and then just leave after. So
All right,
yeah,
next one is online relationships for sure can work. However, if you don't know anything about the person, like we said, not knowing hobbies or anything like that, it can be difficult. Personally, I hate long distance relationships, so I never be able to do it. Like I said, people hate relationships out there that go long distance. But I met my best friend of all time in a Overwatch lobby, so it's certain possible to make a lasting connection for gaming. Yeah, which I agree. Like I met some people that like I met online, like for gaming that has a strong connection, stuff like that. So I mean, online meeting is good, but like for gaming, and then this person says it's good for gaming, but not for a relationship, which I totally agree.
yeah, I agree. I've never gotten like too much into online gaming, and I've never done online dating either. Um, I do have. I mean, I have people I know that I've known for a long time, and I thought to myself, you know, I've known them for a long time, so I talk to them, I get to know them and stuff. But there are other people out there. I mean, I'm not a big. Whenever I tried it, I've never done it. I don't think it's something for me. I can't really handle doing that. It's just not my style.
All right. Next one. I mean, yeah, they should be able to, as long as they both consent adults at the poll. So basically, he's saying that like you have to be an adult to date online, which makes sense. I mean, not really any internet pros other than emotional support, but there are plenty of potential cons depending on the distance. I don't suggest long distance dating unless you're absolutely sure you know the person prior. Which, yeah, we already talked about this.
Yeah, I agree that the this person says that um, you don't get into online dating unless you actually have known this person for a long time. Um, that's important.
Right. This person says to truly date someone, there needs to be attraction there first. Do they attract you, or is their personality good enough to make you stay? So, like, this is sort of what we talked about. Like, in order to find out, you have to know what they look like, their hobbies and stuff like. So he says, so I don't agree with it all at all. So that's basically the same thing about knowing what someone's look like, so they can judge you from their attraction and your hobbies.
I um, the 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 importance of getting to know another person, it's it can't be understated, you know, because once you get to know that person, then this it could be a relationship that goes on for life, you know.
Yeah.
So
Next comments, able to. Who's stopping you? Whatever or not, no. Whatever or not one should, I also don't see why not if you get along well. Pro is you already have someone you enjoy doing together a shared interest in, which we're talking about um, knowing what that person likes to do and stuff. Cons, you don't know what they look like. We already talked about that. As long as both persons are our age, go for it. Just probably don't send nudes until you meet in person.
yeah, just to people who do online dating are people who are who maybe I think it's because you mentioned age. I thought to myself, you know, are there people who are older who are doing online dating, or people that than people who are doing younger? You know?
Yeah. All right. This person says, they should be able to. Yeah, the cons really only appear if someone is lying. You never know if they're lying or not really. Lying meaning like if they're trolls or anything like that, or fake account. Pros could be along the line that you already know you share interest in, which we already talked about.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Next one. First, you probably shouldn't date anyone if you don't know anything about them. Like we said before, this is mentioned many times in the comments that you shouldn't date someone if you don't know anything about them. At least get their name and age. But sharing your age online is kind of sus, which is yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
can be
true.
I can be like I can be like a 26-year-old trying to find a little girl to have sex with and be a pedophile and then tell that girl that they're 16 too, but yet they're like an old pedophile.
Yeah, yeah, and you might not know that. You know, that's why you have to be so careful when when you're on if you are doing online dating. If any person is doing online dating, they have to be careful who they're talking to, because they don't know if they're talking to the police or they're talking to somebody who could hurt them. So they have to be careful and aware of their environment.
All right. This person says, I'm definitely all for two people who have never met being able to date. I think not seeing pictures helps it be love rather than lust. I don't think I could ever commit to dating someone had never been in a video call. Not knowing anything about them, though, we already talked about, is a really bad and really definitely a red flag. Um, Good point. Yeah, I don't see an issue with it if they're happy with each other and good for them. So this person thinks online dating is good. Uh, um, This person said, if they are able to find things in common besides gaming, then sure, I don't see why they can't date if that's what they really want. I personally approach it from the point of view of let them do what they feel comfortable doing and let them make it work because I'm just someone who is looking in from the outside. So I don't have any right to judge and say whatever is right or wrong, especially with something like that, like a relationship, because those are based off feelings. So one shouldn't be telling another how they should feel about another person or what they should or shouldn't do. Instead, may offer opinion, and then hopefully we'll still support them in whoever choice the couples makes.
Mhm. I see.
Um, Next person says should be able to date them. I mean, yeah, should be able to date whoever you want, right? Because of catfishing.
That's a good one.
This person says, stealing my opinion wasn't the concern. I was more worried about how conversation it can get. Some pros could be even the fact that they met someone who enjoyed gaming as much as they do. And I can say for myself that you can meet some interesting people over gaming and can even relate. Some of the cons, though, is the fact that you can get to see their gaming personality. You don't know how they act in real life for real time. And then, of course, the actors that say you for not knowing anything really about them.
Mm, mm. That's true. You don't know what you're getting yourself into, and you don't know who you're dating and what you're getting, or what kind of job they have. Um, but if people are so desperate, they can fall into that trap.
Next one is, as an ordinary e-girl consists I am your man. My opinion is eventually sexual attraction will play a factor. You have to know what your partner looks like. Long distance sucks ass though. We already talked about that. Um, I mean, first of all, being able to is a bad way to ask. It's a free world. People are allowed to do what they want as long as it's illegal. So the better question is, should they do it? Dating would mean you have to spend time with a person. If both parties are constantly hanging out online over knowing what does it look like or not going in people is not really much to them. Pros, you don't have to spend money. You get to pretend you are in a relationship. Cons, you are in a relationship. Of course, I'm talking about they don't know them or how they look situation. This really are a different matter. Um, I think one of my cousins met his wife probably through games. They have 3 kids now and seem really happy. I'm not sure if they knew what each other looked like for a while.
Hey, what? You didn't know what each other looks like?
He said, I am not sure though. He said, I am not sure if they knew what they each other really for a while. So, and then after that, they met and had 3 kids. I think that's what he meant. Next person says, I think any constant pairing should be able to date no matter what others think. On top of that, looks are not everything. The emotion attraction is more imperatives, I think.
Oh, it's interesting.
On the toe-sucking question, I actually met my current partner playing video games online a while ago, but were friends for a while and we and met in person before we started dating. Pros are obviously common interested personalities mesh well enough. Cons are you can't confirm people's age or appearance until you actually meet the person in real life, like we talked about, like video call. A lot of people lie about these things online, but if you've known them for a while and have gotten some converted on important details, I don't see why it worked well with. So this person's in the online relationship right now. Um, if you have anything else to say, just let me know. Pros, you only know the personality and likely when they're frustrated. You know that you like them. Cons, they can't lie about anything, like we talk about age or anything like that at all. You'll never know. I met my girlfriend on Discord and found out she works in a restaurant less than 2 miles away. Laughed my ass out. So I think online, like in my opinion, I think online dating is good. I mean, like the person you met might like live like 2 or 1 mile away from you, which is perfect. Next one is I don't see a reason why anyone shouldn't be able to date anyone in general. To be honest, if you can be friends, I don't see why you can't date if you feel the same way about each other. Sometimes people don't date even if they feel the same way about each other. Any thoughts about the comments that I recently said?
No, no comments.
Alright. This person said, should they be able to? Yeah, sure. Should they expect to last long? No.
Uh, no comment on that.
Uh, dating someone without knowing what they look like sounds weird to me. Surely, if you're interested in someone, you would be curious what they look like, and to reach the point of dating, you must know at least some stuff about them. I don't think I could date someone without knowing anything about them. Um, Next one. Stealing my opinion wasn't already. This one I think I already read. Yeah, I screenshotted too. It was more of a joke. More like people should be able to date with whoever they want. I think they can get to know people really well online. Meeting them is just another way to hang out with, spend time with them.
Yeah, I think that that's important. Um, people should be allowed to choose whoever they want to date. It's their choice. They have the ability to think for themselves, um, and people have that right.
All right. This person said relationships are relationships are they bitter and lonely like me. Um, damn, those goes. This person says, "Damn, there goes my chance with a certain girl. He just linked someone's like Discord name. It was funny, but I know a girl who prooffully exes are from playing games. She gets to know people a little more through playing games together." Um, this person said, "Should be able to? I guess, yeah. It is not for me to decide. Relationships are a personal thing between two parties. If they think it works, then fine. Whether or not I think work is irrelevant. Um, whether or not I think work is irrelevant. But if you ask me personally, I don't think dating online works for the majority of people. Yeah, you play games with them and get to know about their games, but if you don't share anything beyond that, it's hard to say you're really dating. Well, not sharing much in dates really happens in real life too. Some people are more reverse and gradually open up. I guess it depends on the time too. Regardless of these points, online dating is different because you never saw their face and you don't know their personality in real life. Then you're not dating. You don't see 80% of their life or whatever percent depending on how much they game with you. So to short your answer to though, should, yes. Pro, easy access, shared interest in gaming, and cons, you don't know anything about them. Few can say this is a healthy relationship if you don't find they deal drugs or living in wherever a deal breaking for you.
I agree. That person brought up a lot of good points. Um, yeah, online dating, you don't know if people pay attention to your relationship, and they don't know if you're dating or not dating. Even though if you make claims and say I'm dating such and such person, and it's been going on for such and such times, um, we're gonna get the relationship back on track, and that's the way it has to be. It's not the way that's not the way it has to be, but um, if people want to try to fix what they have, you know.
Right. The next one says the cons, considering I've done this over 40 times, are infinite. I highly don't recommend this. They could possibly not be who they even tell you. This is like we were talking about earlier, that people can lie about their age. I dated someone online that told me they were my age and ended up being 13. And I dated people online that they were my age and ended up being 40. The second one might be, excuse me. Oh, that's funny actually. Oh my god. And the second one might be most likely, but the point is that they won't know exactly who you're meeting until you actually meet them. And you shouldn't ever consider dating someone that you don't somewhat no. Out of 100 plus relationships have been in this decade, the ones that really last are the ones that aren't over the internet. And I think that is because of the much more personal connection you get from sitting across the table compared to sitting through a monitor. I'm not saying you'll never find someone to love online that you game with. I found at some point what I'm saying. I'm saying that you much more likely to find a meaningful romantic relationship in the real world. I say romantic because it's easier to find social friends online, especially where I live in Farmsville, wherever it is. I don't know what that is. And you all are the closest friends for that reason.
Uh, I think that
Then he got lied to by his age. That's hilarious.
all right, let's end it up.
This person says, never date someone based on who they are in the game, but if you end up liking them out of the game and are able to confirm it, it's not catfish. I don't really see a problem with it. Like, this person says, date who you want to date, and this is where you want to take them.
Wait, what did he say?
He said, never date someone based off on who they are in the game, but if you end up liking them outside of the game, like in real life, and are able to confirm it's not catfish. I don't see a problem with that. You just date whoever you want to date, and it will take this relationship somewhere.
Wow, that's actually some pretty solid advice.
Yeah. This person say they should. People date when they meet online. I don't see the difference, to be honest. And it's a good relationship. Why do people need to care? Just be happy for them and hope one day they meet and live a happy life.
Yeah,
This person said, "Hello, Bruin," which is my name. Dating someone you met online playing games seems fine. It's a good way to break the ice, get a first impression of someone, and also depending on the type of game, seeing how they respond to a different situation, either positive and negative. Dating has the inherent implication that you're getting to know each other anyway. So if you like each other on a video game and meet up, that actually helps the initial awkwardness, asking question part a little bit. Also, I think people who ask for photos before you go on a date on social media, if you both get into the idea of dating, you're probably confirming you're not being catfish or mugging before going out. That's doesn't seem to be an issue. All right.
mm.
What were you saying?
Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah, you can continue.
This person says, depends honestly on the trust. I once dated someone from Canada, then after 2 years met them and continued dating for another 2 years. We decided to both walk away as friends after 4 years of dating.
Yeah, I think that that's a good idea. If two people uh, can't work out as a couple, then it's better that the couple decides to just remain friends, and that tells you whether or not if that person's ex is somebody who is a good friend or not a good friend. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Jeff?
Yeah, yeah. All right. Next one. If
Yeah.
people played a game long enough. Oh, wait, were you done? Sorry.
What?
If people played a game long enough, they decide to date. I doubt the second part of it is even possible. Not knowing how they look, we already talked about that. Sure, that's impossible, but not knowing anything about them, I don't think you can talk to someone that's long. The rest of them is about. I'm gonna skip. Ignoring the category because there's a lot of stuff we talked about. Uh, Person says, doesn't this happen quite a lot? I know of a few relationship and marriage that starts through online communities, including gaming. It's like most other scenarios, people meeting someone while doing something they both have in common. The only difference is that it's not based on looks. Um, biggest con is that they could be the opposite sex from what you're expecting. True. You can meet some gay person. Like I remember in high school when I was in Cambridge, I spent time with this guy. We went to the movies, we spent time, and then one time we took the bus together. He actually kissed me. Do you hear me? Yo, yo. Alright, next one is people can do whatever they want, but also who would date someone without knowing what they look like? Yo, yo.